Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DG360. This is a very, very interesting article that I haven't seen anybody cover, and it's all the way back pre-CitizenCon. And it's Jake, I believe it's Muehle. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, Jake, but he's instrumental in designing the Star Citizen economy. Now, we know what I think of it because the video is on the channel. We see me talk about what I think about the presentation. I think they smashed it. I think they smashed it out of the park, but there's still some concerns I have as far as pricing, excuse me, buy and sell orders, the ability to actually have the power is in the player to have the ability to put in our own pricing, which I don't think we're going to have. This is very early economy 1.1 is what I'm calling it. So we're at this stage right now where really they're kind of just designing the very rudimentary basis of what the economy will entail. We know that what we saw as far as the quanta or the algorithm that was displayed to us very nicely at this presentation will encompass the majority of buy and sell orders, essentially, and we will be outnumbered. So we will factor into it, but we don't know by how much. We don't know exactly how much we're going to factor into this quanta as industrialist players. I was very impressed with what I saw. I happen to enjoy the fact that they're really trying to simulate supply and demand, and I think they are doing a hell of a job at it. I didn't think they could do it so efficiently from what I saw. These quanta or these calculations, this algorithm that ran for us that you can see on a prior video. Very, very interesting to me to see that and to know that these calculations will manifest themselves into physicality when you're around them through OCS. Also very, very cool. Now, whether or not we're actually going to be able to get that efficiently is the next question. So first question is, by how much will we be outnumbered by NPC buy and sell orders? Will we have the ability to put in our own buy orders, have the freedom of price that industrialists like as a trader, if somebody said that I couldn't put my own price in for something I wanted to sell, I'd be a little bit hesitant as to think that it might be a true economy. These are just slight problems and worries that I have as we're moving forward. But I was impressed with what I saw thus far. And I will continue to voice out for, some type of player-driven mechanics. Now, what John was talking about in this article, very interesting. He started to talk to the reporter about beacons and how beacons will play a role. Now, most people know that I'm right now very frustrated with beacons. I think beacons are pretty well busted. And it concerned me because the first half of the article, John was talking a lot about beacons. And, with the accountancy app coming up, 4.0 and around that point or even before that, this accountancy app, I want to make sure that has wallet-to-wallet transactions. It was confirmed in this that there will be wallet-to-wallet transactions. Jake did not get to speak out a lot at CitizenCon. I believe this article, which I will link down below as well, was the essence of the speech that didn't properly load at CitizenCon. And so this is a wonderful article because then he starts to really get into the meat and potatoes behind, wallet-to-wallet transactions and what we can expect from that. I really want to pair up wallet-to-wallet transactions with other things like Fight Club. We talked about in our prison video how we're essentially going to be able to gamble with merits to do it. So we could essentially do the same thing. One of our fans mentioned the fact that there is a ring, or there is one at Hex around the bottom landing pads. I think around landing pad 6, that there's some type of Fight Club setup around Hex. I have not confirmed that yet. I will go there to check it, to confirm it as well. But that is always an interesting facet. And also like an economy that will develop inside this prison as well with the merits. So I'm really looking forward to the economic gameplay. I really like the article. And he got into like basically confirming wallet-to-wallet transactions in the article. And I was happy to see that. It made me feel very, very good. Now, the next thing is if we can take our commodities. Here's another question that wasn't answered. Are we going to be able to sell to other players are assets. I don't know. I didn't really see that in this article. This is cool. Excuse me. I think I'm getting sick. Here's a question. Will there be tools to let players form fleets that identify as a mercantile trade fleet? Can players run a shipping company or a manufacturing business? Oh, we had a lot of questions like this. Of course, says Jake. Wow. That is huge. That's a huge answer. So this is why I like those that are really dedicated to Star Citizen, those that are really dedicated towards the economy. They have the patience to sit here and listen to these facts. You know, a lot of people don't take the time to just be patient and listen. So there's a lot of people even here on stream that didn't really get an answer. And those that have the patience that are here on stream, they're actually watching this video, you have an answer about manufacturing businesses. Jake says, of course. Now he says, this is exactly the kind of player generated content we work to encourage. That is also helpful to I mean, like, this is great news to hear that the content creators, the people developing the game, want player generated content. I like to hear these things from the developers. This is why I got interested in Star Citizen. It's great. Players will always have the option to choose whatever activities they want to participate in, and a focused, concerted effort by players is bound to be more successful than a loosely structured org with no real mission statement. We already have a lot of player-run organizations that have created their own robust and detailed backstories and plan to fill a specific economic role in game. I wonder what he's referring to there. Again, there aren't any defined rules or classes. Another reason why I like Star Citizen, each player will forge their own unique identity of Star Citizen. I love that. Fleet Commander is not a game-specified career path, but then again, you can be that in the game. Using the tools we provide them to influence the universe. Such a rule would delegate tasks to NPCs and players alike. Awesome. Coordinating efforts to protect and deliver important materials at specific locations across the PU, just like a real company. Excellent. Love to hear it. So we will have the ability to apparently manufacture or be a manufacturing run type of business. That's hugely positive. Hugely positive. And I don't see any content creators putting out content like this or talking about this at all. So I am very happy to put that out there. It's wonderful. What's in it for the criminally minded Star Citizen player? What sort of things can those who take out space trucks get in terms of earning a UEC? As stated before, piracy is a very central element to the Star Citizen universe. They want the danger inserted into the game. God bless them. Illegal activity is punished much the same way as it is in the real world. We talked about all of this in the prison video that we did. We talked about how this is going to fit into the gameplay as far as when you break the law, you go to the prison and you got to earn these merits to get out. Very, very cool. So I really like the mechanics. Star Dangerous, absolutely high professional, absolutely, dude. I really like that they're focusing on the fact that they want players to have a very cool player-to-player experience. And the law system is set up in such that the transgressions, if you break the law in UEE space, or even if you're recorded to break the law in unlawful space, that there will be a bounty attached, that the NPC players will go after you like crazy in UEE space, perhaps discouraging after you've gone to prison, this Klesher rehabilitation facilities, perhaps discouraging these types of acts to happen in lawful type space, separating PvE for lawful type space and PvPers for unlawful type spaces. And also promoting bounty hunting, putting bounty hunting right at the top of the pyramid, along with pirating. So if you are a player, a gamer who is a bounty hunter, I guarantee you the bounties will be set on players. And we saw the handcuffs in the last link. We saw that there were handcuffs. I would like the handcuffs to be used. I would like players to go out for other players in unlawful space to go track down those pirates and unlawful type of players, capture them, and bring them to the Klesher rehabilitation facility. That is sexy. That's super sexy right there. Like, both on the bounty hunting side and the pirate side. This is classic Cops and Robbers. When you were a kid and played Cops and Robbers, dude, this is classic Cops and Robbers, man. So if you are a pirate, you will have to worry about NPCs in lawful space, and guarantee you that most people are just going to steer clear of that. Don't want to deal with that harassment, because PvPers will have that harassment. And that's exactly what PvEers want. And frankly, that's exactly what PvPers want. They want the harassment. We want the fun. We want the dangerous. It's perfect. It totally goes hand in hand with everything we've always wanted. PvEers get what they want. PvPers get what they want. As long as they can make sure that the game mechanics are supporting player-to-player type interactions, you're going to have a success. Like, that's a super successful model right there. So a lot of people that are like kind of poo-pooing prison and the rehabilitation facilities right now, I don't think they're getting that dynamic of how bounty hunters are literally going to have to go to unlawful space and be a bounty hunter and capture outlaws, player outlaws. And of course, you'll probably have, missions where you're going after NPCs as well to get your mission rewards. But I want the bounties on players to be higher. The risk reward has to be set higher. So if you're going after NPC outlaws, the pricing on the mission should be lower than if you're going after actual players. Actual players should have much higher bounties than NPCs that you're going after. This is how the economy should work in regards to bounty hunting. And I think that would be freaking amazing to have that kind of player-driven content in the game. Smuggling also needs to be a little bit set higher as far as margin. I know it's really high now. It needs to be higher, especially if you're taking illegal goods from unlawful space to lawful space, because, of course, people in lawful space don't have access. I love it. I love what I'm seeing here. I'll put a post down of this article confirming quite a bit. Wall-to-wall transactions, manufacturing, all these things that we've been asking for. These things starting to come into fruition makes me very excited about what is. I mean, like this at this point, after CitizenCon, after nailing it on exploration in the new system, after seeing what there was to see with all, the new UI and everything that's coming down the pipe from Cloud Imperium and all these new game features where some people are saying, oh, this is going to take forever. This is going to take forever. Yes, it's going to take forever. Okay, it's going to take a while. But to see that they're actually having this momentum, they're having the best revenues, the best sales that they've ever had. They're about to eclipse it if they haven't already. In December, they're going to beat their highest recorded revenue. And the money keeps coming in. And this is super positive for this project. I can't be negative right now in Star Citizen. I've tried to be negative. I want to be skeptical. I want to be skeptical. And right now at this point, I don't know how you can be negative on this project. Highest revenues ever. All these new game features. The game's really starting to look better. Of course, it's still buggy. Of course, we still deal with these things. As time continues to move forward, the promise of SOCS version 1, let's see how that goes. I just can't be negative right now in Star Citizen, no matter how hard I try. I don't even want, it's gotten to the point where I'm like, dude, you are being too positive on this. Like, I am not. I'm starting to be biasly positive. I'm starting to feel like I'm a white knight, for God's sake. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, dude, you gotta have something negative to say, and it's really hard to find negative things to say right now. I think they're pushing at 40 million right now, professional. So that they're literally having like the highest revenue year ever. They did $1.4 million on the day of CitizenCon. And they gained another 8,000 accounts that day, just in that day. So, operating expenses are somewhere around 3 to 4 million a month. Right now, they're gliding in a little bit over that. But, like we've always talked about, if there's anything negative right now that I have to say is, like, I want to make sure that they're managing their money correctly and that they're not going crazy on expenses. That's something that I've always kind of policed. That's something that I've always looked at. That's something that I always continue to look at. And I think it could be managed slightly better on the inside, but I will go over numbers. I think before the end of the year. We already had an annual report for 2018 I did on the channel. I can't tell you right now that I have much negative to say about Star Citizen. I really wish I got to hear more from Jake. I love Tony Z, don't get me wrong. But Jake is also instrumental in making this economy. And props to Jake, really, because he's done a lot of the work in this. And I really wanted to hear a little bit more from Jake. Jake was kind of like Tony's underling during the CitizenCon presentation. It was pretty funny to see, but I think Jake was going to talk about everything we're seeing in this article. So anyhow, beautiful to see everything working out like this for the project. And I hope you guys are enjoying the content here on the channel. Please put your comments down below. I love you guys. Thanks for all the support and the love. You know, I want to really send a special thanks out to all my patrons and the membership that support the channel financially. It's very difficult in these times. YouTube's blacklisting me. It's hard to find me anywhere. You plug my name in, you can't even find it. You put Star Citizen. I think one video might show up from 11 months ago. So there's definitely something very awry. I feel like the Steven Crowder of Star Citizen, not being able to be found in search. I saw my search analytics go tank. And so I really want to thank those that make this channel possible, this community possible. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next vid.